Hey guys, I'm out running some service calls today. Thought you may enjoy going along with me. So I've been just collecting service calls for about a week. These are all minor issues. So we have 7 different issues to look at across 3 different properties. 2 of the properties are owned by someone else and 1 is at my property. But if you guys are DIY landlords and retire early like me, or I should say leave your corporate job early like me, or you're just wanting to earn some extra money, this can be a great little way to do it. So here I'm at the first property. You may have seen this property from other videos I've done, but I did the rehab on this apartment about, I think it's been a little over a year ago. This is owned by the city where I live, and they have a property manager that I do a lot of work for. But we have 4 different items to look at here, so let's go up and take a look. Hello, maintenance. Anybody here? It's Rich. Don't shoot. Maintenance. Hello. All right, looks like the house is empty. Always be sure to announce yourself, because you do not want to get shot doing these calls. So let's take a look at some of the easier ones first. Where's the light switch? Light switch. That's for the hall. I can't find the light switch in here. Oh, here it is. All right, so the first item, they said they got a broken screen, or a broken blind. That looks like an old one. That was old when they moved in. So the first thing we'll do is just get a measurement on this window. I'm gonna have to go to Lowe's and get one. I don't stock any blinds, so we'll just measure up the rough opening of this window and have to go to Lowe's for that. And then over here they have a broken refrigerator handle. So I may have one of these at my shop. I'll have to go look at my shop, but I save them when I throw away old refrigerators. I always take off the handles, take out all the drawers and things like that. But we'll get some pictures of the handle, see if I have one at the shop, and also take some pictures of the model number in here. And that way, if I have to order it and come back, I can do that. The other issue they mentioned was ants in the bathroom. So I can see they've got some raid here. So anyhow, I told them I'd get some baits. That looks like where they're at. I told them I'll get some baits when I go to pick up the blind. I'll just get some ant bait traps and set them out in here. But the bigger issue is this back door. They said that it's hard for the kids to lock and unlock. I can see this whole wood part is moving. I'll shut the door, so I'll screw that in. That seems a little stiff too. That's a little stiff, so we'll oil that up. Probably run a screw in here, see what that does, lube everything up, and then we'll go from there. If I have to, I can grind some of the side of this off, because it is a little bit, well, I got the bolt out. It is a little bit hard to get that in. So if I have to, I'll take the Dremel tool and mill some of that out. But let's first put a screw in here, and then lube everything up and see how it operates. On doors, I like to use these little finish head screws, little star bit. And we'll try to get a screw in here behind this weather stripping so you can't see it. So it'll be hidden back there. See that draw it in. I don't want to draw it in too much, but that definitely drew it in some. Alright, I took this apart and lubed it. I'm just testing it with a screwdriver. It seems to be moving quite a bit better now, so I think that's all it was. Just need to lube up the inside of this, so I'll put it back together and give it a shot. Alright, after lubing it up, it works much better. It actually comes out all the way. It still has a little tiny catch to it, but it's not, you know, hard to overcome, so I think it'll be alright. Yeah, seems to work much better. So I think this one's done. This is a leaking Delta bath faucet. She said it's dripping. Probably just seats and springs, I hope. I'll see if I can get you some shots while I'm there, but this old lady's usually up my ass the whole time I'm working. This is at my 12 unit. I know you've seen probably many videos if you watch my channel on this building, but we'll go in. Hopefully it's just seats and springs, which I have plenty of those in the truck, so it'll be a pretty easy fix, hopefully. Famous last words. Turned out to be a nothing burger. It wasn't leaking at all. I don't know what she's talking about, but anyhow, I just told her if it gets worse to call me. She said there was some little bit of water she'd noticed in the sink when she'd wake up, but anyhow, it wasn't dripping for me. But I need to come over here anyhow to look for handles for a refrigerator, and these look like they may work. I'm just going to take all these. We'll see. If I have to put the black one on, I'll just call it temporary, but hopefully one of those will work for that refrigerator at the first stop. Alright, I'm just driving to Lowe's now. I know I need the amp bait and a blind from the first stop, and I know I'm going to need a toilet seat on one of our next stops, so I'll go ahead and grab that while I'm here. And our final stop, hopefully I have everything on the truck I need for that, and I think I do, so hopefully I don't have to come back here today. Back to our first stop. I have the blind, the amp baits, and we'll see if we get lucky with the refrigerator handles I found in the building. So let's go up and see if we can wrap this one up. We got lucky on this. This is a little bit different style, but this one actually goes like this. This one's actually got a piece broken off. It's here at the top of the fridge, but I think this is going to line up, although it is different. But once I take that off, then that should line with that screw hole there. So there's just a screw that this slides up over, and then you put the two screws in the top here. That's all there is to changing these out. So let me take these out from the broken one, put the screw back in down here, and see if this one will slide on there, and hopefully we can clean it up so it looks a little better, because you can see it's pretty yellow compared to the old one. Alright, I got this new handle on here, and I cleaned up the best I could. It's a different style than was on there before, but you know, it'll be fine. It's a functioning handle. It's good enough for a rental, so I think that'll be good. We can mark this one off. Blind out. Here's what I bought. One thing to keep in mind when you buy these, it says 35 by 64. Actual width is a ½ inch smaller, so I had a 35 inch by 61 inch opening. It can be a little longer, that's no problem, but at 35 it will fit in a 35 opening pretty easily because you have that extra ½ inch. And here are the mounting clips for this. So it goes in this orientation if you're mounting it at the top. So this will snap under here, and then this clips onto the bottom of the blind this side. So just make sure you have them in that orientation if you're doing a top mount. And the only thing you kind of have to watch out for is you don't want to have your clips ending up like right there or something like that. So I just take, it's just rough measurements. So I'll take like a full hand and say that'll get me in the clear if I get it anywhere in this area over here. Same thing on this side. If I take a full hand and place the mounting bracket on the ceiling there, then it's going to be in the clear and not hit this. So I'm going to go ahead and screw those up and install the blind. Alright, so the new blind is in. That took less than 5 minutes doing it like that. So you can see the clips up there. Looks good. So now last thing we have to do in this apartment is set the ant traps. And I like these here. All you have to do is break the little tab off the end, place them where you want, come in a 6-pack. So they sent me a couple of pictures in the bathroom of where they'd seen ants. So over there in that corner and somewhere over here by the toilet. So I'll set the bait traps there. And I also noticed some ants out here. So I'm gonna set a bait trap. Yeah, there's a few right there. I'll set a bait trap there as well, and then I'll just leave the rest for the tenants. They can put it wherever they want. Bait trap set here, there, and put one outside here. So we're gonna wrap up this call. I'll email the tenant, let them know that everything is finished, and we'll move on to the next one. For our next call, we have to inspect this entire building, which is made up of like 5 apartments, a dental office, a law office, and a couple other rentable spaces. But the water company, which happens to be right across the street, called him and said that something's going on. You have super high usage. So we're going to do this inspection. This is actually owned by a dentist. His office is on the other side. He's 81 years old and still practices dentistry and still deals with his rental properties. So anyhow, let's go in and inspect it and see if we can find this leak. So after inspecting the whole building, the only leak we found was this leak right here. You see that brown, you may think it's something nasty, but it's actually just rust from where this thing's been running pretty much full bore. He says tenant's been out of town at least a month, so who knows how long this has been running. And if we look back here in the back, I don't know if you can see it right, but that's your overflow tube, and water just continues to run down that overflow tube. So that means we need to replace this fill valve. Yeah, this sucks. Probably, who knows, it could cost him $400 or $500 in extra water bill. So let's get it fixed. All right, so I changed this fill valve, and now you can see that the water's down 1/2 to 3/4 inch before the overflow, which is where you want it. While I was doing it, I changed the flapper as well. Might as well put a new one of those in, and I always put a new supply line on when I take the old ones off. It's just no reason to reuse it. But now you can see no leaks. Still looks nasty, but not leaking. Let's go to the next one. All right, guys, our final service call of the day is in this building. Really neat old building downtown here, and this is also owned by that same dentist. I guess it was about 8 months ago. This was just studs down here, so we built it out to make it an office space for him. I think it turned out pretty cool. Put in a little kitchenette there. And this just got rented. I think it's a marriage counselor rented this. When you're dealing with commercial and office space, keep in mind you have to put these things in with the emergency lights all over the place. You can see it at the top of the stairs here, and here's the second exit. But our call here today was I'd put in this toilet seat. On my defense, I got it on clearance at Lowe's, but I put this in. I didn't open it up to see this blue stuff, and he hates that. So we're going to swap it out. When you're buying toilet seats, there's really only 2 options. I know there's some oddballs out there, but primarily there's elongated, which this one is, and there's round. And I always try just to buy the plain plastic ones. I never buy the wood ones. So these just seem to be more sanitary. And that's what he was worried about with those blue patches there, that those wouldn't be sanitary. So let's get this swapped out. All right, we got the new seat in. It's a nice slow close. Hopefully he'll be happy with this one. All right, I'm driving home now. I left my house at 9. I should be home by 1, and I'm gonna call this a day. Hopefully you guys like this kind of content. If you do, please leave me a comment below, and thank you for watching.